Good evening and welcome back, Poetry Lovers. It is I, your unseen host, ZM Wise here, and we have with us tonight Mr. Dustin Pickering, co-founder and editor-in-chief of Transcendent Zero Press, and next to him, standing up, Mr. Jasper Kerkau, managing editor and co-creator of Sudden Dudamon. Tonight, they are going to be briefly discussing the release of their books and upcoming books, rather. So, bless you. Dustin.
You're welcome.
Dustin, why don't you tell us a little bit about your book, Frenetic No Contest?
The concept came about when I pitched into Facebook, my audience on Facebook, that I was looking for visual art to work some ekphrastic poetry on. And I had somebody tag me with this guy named Red Fox, who is, I think he's a Colorado-based artist, and he is one of the members of Alien Buddha Press. And basically, he gave me his page where he had all his art, and I went through and selected 5 particular images, which were both photography or paintings, and I wrote a set of 5 ekphrastic poems on each image, and so they became this book here. This is Frenetic No Contest, and the reason I named it Frenetic No Contest is it's a kind of I call my own art, which resembles in some ways Red Fox's art. I call it freneticism, which is because it's full of this kind of frenzied energy. And I threw in the no contest as a way of kind of saying, like, you can't compete, so it's a positive affirmation of the value of the collection and the value of the art contained. And so basically that was the central idea of the book.
Okay, and for those of us who don't know, can you briefly explain the concept of ekphrastic poetry?
Ekphrastic poetry is poems written on a work of art that convey your personal subjective feeling or thoughts concerning that work of art.
Wonderful, wonderful. Jasper, you are up to the bat.
Well, first I'd like to say I've spent some time reading Dustin's book, and it's a wonderful, wonderful book. His poetry is exquisite, and I think it's a really good representation of his work. So I just want to take a second and say that anybody who gets an opportunity should really pick up the book. And we have some copies of the book that we're going to be giving away through contest. But Dustin is a fabulous poet. We have Sudden Dudamon. We have 2 books. We've published our first book, which is called Superstition, by Raina Kelly, who is a Scottish novelist whose first book is a wonderful novel called Until Her Darkness Goes. And it is the first book that we've published. It's really exciting for us. This journey has been a year-long journey. Along the way, we picked up 20 writers. We got writers in India, Canada, Japan, all over the United States, Finland. So this is really the culmination of a group effort. We have a great group of writers and editors, and we're really excited about this inaugural work. Raina is a wonderful, wonderful poet, and she was suggested to me by Nicole Lyons, author of Hush, who found her on Facebook, and it was one of those oh shit moments where she tells me, she says, "You're not going to believe this, you've got to read this girl." And anyway, immediately I was smitten by her work, and so I'm really excited to have her chapbook. This is more of a chapbook to be the first book that we published. And I just got the proof copy of our second book, which is called Machiavelli's Backyard by David Lowery. He's an American who lives in Japan. He's a PhD who has spent 40 years in various jobs as a reviewer for the LA Times, as writing plays off Broadway, and he has an amazing talent. He has a very unique poetic voice, and he's turned out to be a wonderful friend, and I'm really, really excited about these 2 books. And immediately after getting these 2 books out, we're going to move into the process of publishing our anthology, which will include the work of all of our writers. Really, it's going to be encapsulate the first year of Sudden Denouement, which was very, very exciting. We have so many exciting things going on and so many brilliant writers. So we're really excited about beginning the process of getting the anthology out. So.
Mazel tov on your first year, by the way. That's got to feel just accomplishing.
Yeah, it's been an amazing, and we really started out. It just started out. Me and a friend, we were sitting on the patio, and kind of in the midst of a sudden denouement, and I said, I want to start a literary collective, and just amazingly, people from all, I just made all these wonderful relationships with all these amazing writers, and people, were really willing to let me be a custodian of their work, and so I take that role really seriously. And so I just think the sky's the limit, and we're moving into all kinds of different areas. So
wonderful. Jasper, could you? This is the first time you're going to be appearing on my YouTube channel. Can you please give the YouTube audience out there a little insight into your work personally?
My work, originally I started. When I started Sudden Denouement, I originally was going to write these long-winded pieces of social satire and critique, and soon I found this, having a deep background in poetry, I found this genre of short personal narrative, which seemed to bode really well in the short attention span society that we live in, and I found that audiences have a tendency not to want to invest a great deal of time into work, and so I started trying to challenge myself to write poetic personal narratives, and I started out with 200 words or less, 500 words or less, and so my work is very beat inspired. That was really where I cut my teeth, was the writings of Kerouac and Burroughs and Ginsberg, so on and so forth. So my work is poetic personal narratives. They're sometimes short, sometimes long, but the essence of it is very poetic, and the essence of it is at times beat, and at other times I challenge myself with different formats and trying to challenge myself as a writer.
Brilliant. Do you two have any questions for each other before we sign off?
Well, I would like to ask Jasper, what was the criteria originally? How did you come in contact with the other writers that formed your collective?
What happened was that I really had this idea. I said, I'm gonna start a collective because I have a lot of friends that say that they're writers, and so I just wanted to have a vehicle for them to get their work out. I figured maybe 10 or 12 people would read it. So anyway, so I called it a collective, and then I published some pieces that got a lot of attention, and then I started having these people come out of there, like Georgia Park is one, Nicole Lyons in Canada, and these people came to me and they said, hey, we're in. Whatever it is you're doing, we're in. And so really people came to me, and then additionally I would find writers who had brilliant sensibilities, brilliant writing ability, and then they might not have had a great audience because they didn't really give a shit, or because they, didn't have the time to put in, didn't have large social media or whatever. And I said, hey, come with us. I will do everything in my power to help promote your work. And so really it's a combination of the two, but it's been a combination of people seeking us out at the same time. It's been me seeking out, hand-picking people that I was just making a pitch towards, like, hey, we need you. You know what I mean? We're going somewhere. Come with us, essentially.
Wonderful. All right, well, that concludes this interview between Dustin Pickering and Jasper Kerkau. This is ZMY's signing off. Poetry lives.